suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Mayegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do even no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Oh, if you want it wrong.
Hello there. Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. And this is Mayegun Live. So tonight is going to be the People's Parliament. Check the comments. You will see the link to join the studio. And you will be those discussing different topics tonight. So I'm just going to be here to moderate. And that's what we're going to do. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends and tell everybody that Mayegun is live. Thank you for joining me. There is a link in that description on YouTube, okay? Copy that link or just tap it, open it. It's going to open to your device. You know how we do it. Share the broadcast. There's something you shouldn't forget as you are joining, right? And that is your own offering. As you are stepping into the temple of truth tonight or this hour or this minute, drop your offering at the door. Like it. So my parliamentarians are already grouping. They are already, getting ready, as I would say. I can see some of them, in the studio already. So if you really want to be part of this, it is better you join as early as possible so that it won't be too late. And then you'll be like, oh, I missed it. So I'm going to pin it up there. Thank you. Thank Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. And yes, this is Mayegun Live. Events in Nigeria in the last 1 week are already showing to us, or should I say, pointing towards where this old charade is going to end. Many people now decided that rather than waste your own time, your resources, and your own mental health, why not dedicate that same time into mobilizing ourselves, not just mobilizing ourselves, sensitizing ourselves and supporting ourselves on the crusade, the message that there is something better than Nigeria. There is something greater than what Nigeria is offering or Nigeria would ever offer. This conversation has been an ongoing one, and it's been, all across board. I have here my friends who are my fellow brethren from Yoruba land, all over the world, who are going to be part of this conversation. I have my friends who are Biafrans, who are also going to try and be part of this conversation tonight. Also, I have on this platform the revolutionaries, the take it backers. I'm talking about the Revolution Now members. They are also members of this gathering, the Temple of Truth. Everyone is welcome. The conversation is going to range from everything going on and what you think we should be doing. What have we been doing right that we should continue to do? What is it that we are supposed to be doing, but we are yet to be doing? So all these are all the kind of conversation that comes on in on the People's Parliament. So you can be part of it too. Please don't join us from the bedroom. Don't lie down on your bed when you want to be part of this conversation. Rather, if you think it is worth it, right? Rather, you give us that privacy and respect, including those who are going to be viewing us. Please don't join me if you are in the bedroom right now. So I am going to open the line, let's start bringing people in. So like I said, the only way to be part of this is not by phoning in. No, don't phone in. You would need to open that link in that comment section. If you have ever been part of the People's Parliament before, you should not find this kind of strange. It is good. The link is going to ask you to connect to the studio via YouTube or Facebook. I bet that most of us have Facebook, our Facebook opened on our different devices. So if you're going to be using your phone or you're going to be using your laptop or desktop with camera, just remember that once you click that link, it is going to ask you to join via YouTube or Facebook. Don't bother, just click on Facebook. It's easier that way. Put up your name, and then you'll be you'll be part of this right from the comfort of your home. So, like I said, I already have some people of some parliamentarians on the line. So we're going to start with them. And the slots for the beginning, for the start, is going to be 5 minutes each. So tell us what you want everybody to be part of, to converse on. And I have here my first, a lady. The first parliamentarian. I heard about 3 people suddenly who dropped. I don't know what happened to your connections, but I'm just going to start with you, Ma. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, G.
Good evening, Mayegun. Thank
Ah,
you for the wonderful work you've been doing.
thank you for joining me tonight,
It's
Ma.
my pleasure to join tonight. I would have preferred to speak my language Yoruba, but I'll be mixing it up.
Please, if you can, I will appreciate that. So you open the floor for us tonight, Ma, while other parliamentarians will join us while you speak. So please, Ma, go on.
Okay. I'll start for saying it's eating really, really well in Nigeria now.
Hmm.
Out of all what you have been discussing, telling us in the Temple of Truth,
That's right.
they are saying it now, gradually. But I will appreciate we in the Temple of Truth, our family members back home, because I have a lot of the names you gave them, like the Abobaku, like the Oshogbo Alumangiri, all names. I have a colleague. We are just 2 years difference of age. We are so close. He's a man.
Wow.
I won't say he's rich, but he's not poor. I forced him to join the Temple of Truth, but he will tell me, nothing is going to happen. But to my surprise, some few days, he said, Ore, are you speaking in spirits or you are seeing dreams or vision? I told him, but I've shared with you where we are getting this truth from.
That's right.
But he refused to join. He said, he will not deceive me. Nigeria will break anytime. But he has not yet confirmed it by himself. He is just saying that Nigeria will break anytime. But most of them are yet to
pointers, everything is pointing to that. Even if people are living in denial of it, it's so obvious that, you know.
That is true. But my fear is for we the Lagosians. Till today, as we are talking, party are still going on. Because I believe even the worst will start from Lagos. I believe that. Because someone told me that in Alimosho local government, a old street, all the houses there were bought by Hausas. If they've bought houses, now renting to themselves, I pity because all my families are in Lagos. So just continue. According to Yoruba words that say, a lot of people, they wait Ọlọ́run má ṣe wọ́n ní adọ́run mọ̀ọ́tọ́. Because it's not the one that car hits that will take the number of the car. Gradually, everybody, they are eating their breakfast. I said yesterday that Tinubu is not yet eating his breakfast. It's just they are putting to the table for him. They are setting his breakfast. When he will eat the breakfast, we always see it. But I pray it's not too late for him because yesterday in TOT was wonderful. That now Buhari transfer APC to PDP. That's just a shock. To PDP, sorry, APC to PDP. Just a shock. It's not yet real the time. So if I still have more time, should I continue all my time?
Thank you so much, Ma. I will excuse you for a moment, okay? So
no
I have a few things I'm going to kind of share too. I think I left them out yesterday, just before. Some of my parliamentarians, they didn't put on their camera. So if you are right there, remember you have to put on the camera so that we can see ourselves. and it is not a phone in. I can see that so many people are trying to phone in as well, but I'll come back to that. This is where is that again? 1 sec. Just a moment, oh. So, and I think it's this. Then I'll speak afterward.
Be the one telling me. You heard him in a channel, boasting that is behind a main man that depends on the breath of God. I pity illiteracy. Say shame. You are boasting to remove another governor. What qualifies you? Just because you are packing money that is public fund, not intellectual material, but just packing money from public funds, and you are boasting about it. Otherwise, whom were you? I became a billionaire at the age of 25. I've worked all my life, and I've asked him to come for public debate. I do not commission 3.4 kilometer road. I commission 35 kilometer roads. I commission twin flyovers running to 1 kilometer. I commission mega projects with little resources. So if he says he has done well and there is Mr. this or that, let him come for public debate with me. Let me know, let's start with our childhood,
So this is something I left behind yesterday. And I think I should have even started from there before we get fully into the parliamentarian convo, right? So again, I'm still having trouble with some of those who wants to participate, okay? So if you really want to participate, you follow those steps I mentioned, okay? I described earlier. Once you open the link is it's right there in the comment section. Let me see if I can drop it again. Just 1 sec. So that is the link. If you check your comment right now, you'll see right there. So you need to open it, follow the 2 steps. I think it's going to ask you, how do you want to get connected? Facebook or YouTube? Don't use YouTube. Just click on Facebook, follow it through, and then you'll see yourself in the studio. I'll see you here with me. And then you can join and add your own conversation, okay? So it is this part of Southern, Southern solidarity that we spoke about a while back. And that Southern solidarity was that there is a deliberate, let's start from here, right? We know that the failure of Bukwari's government, the failure of APC, and all these killings and everything, right? As somehow, even with those of them from northern Nigeria, the elites, they have concluded that Bukwari's time is a complete waste. So to them, Bukwari served himself and served his own other jihadists close their pals. So if Nigeria is to have peace, to have progress, the northern Nigeria will need to produce the president of Nigeria in 2023. But because of the atrocities committed by those with Bukwari and Buhari himself, right? Now, it is also so kind of obvious that they are not going to let go. If they are going to leave at all, they're not going to let go of the power just to anybody, right? Even if they have to burn down the entire Nigeria as they are doing right now, they will do it and nobody can stop them. You know why? Because they will need those that can assure them that all of the atrocities, all of the crimes, all of the killings, extrajudicial killing, all the ethnic cleansing and everything that they have committed, right? They need a set of people that are going to keep them safe, that are going to ensure that they are never probed or tried. But there is no one that can guarantee that. Even if these guys hand over power to military, they are still never going to escape justice. Malamu is not going to escape justice. Issa pandemic is not going to escape justice. Bukwari is not going to escape justice. There's no way they are really good. Even if they manage to get covered by Nigeria, they're not going to escape the justice eventually. So we know that this power play of a thing is what finally played out in APC, Egbekegbe, just 2 days ago, where your Jaga bandit, the Jaga Wiri, the Jaga Adit, the Ashiwaju Awon Atole of Lagos, is now smelling his own breakfast that is currently going through the preparation in their oven. Now, we know why. There is no record. There is no record of the level of corruption that you have witnessed in the last 7 years under these criminals. There is no record of that in the history of Nigeria. Despite the fact they said Abacha will be shaken in his grave. That wow, see wait, how much I stole that these people want to kill me. Look at the level of this looting. These guys have looted to the point that right, they were printing money. They were not printing money to help the economy. They were printing money that, in order to make up for the shortages that the sale of crude oil, the tax collection, the loan they were taking couldn't pay for. So they were printing money. These guys, under them, bunkering, stealing of a crude oil in Nigeria. You know, before they came in, they said stealing of Nigeria crude oil, that half of it is stolen. Who are those who were stealing the Nigeria crude oil? The Nigerian retired military, the current military chiefs, Nigeria generals. They were those behind bunkering. Now, bunkering has now escalated under these criminals. They said 80% of Nigerian crude is now stolen under these rogues. Where do you think they steal them from? They steal the crude oil from? Of course, from the Niger Delta. Where do you think they ferried? Where do you think they ferried the stolen crude oil through? They ferried them through the IC in Niger Delta. And who are those who provide the security for them? The Niger Delta militants. So things gone from worse to God knows, maybe like a grave as we speak. Fine. They need a cover. They need people to cover all of that up. These guys emptied the what they call the excess crude account. Excess crude account is where they keep the excess of the money they make from the sale of crude oil. So they always have a benchmark, right? The benchmark is to say, this is how much we're going to sell the crude oil. The little one they left for you, even selling that, they still loot everything. The excess crude account is empty. Today, these guys have been selling crude oil per barrel. They have been selling in excess of over $55 in the last 2 months. Well, nobody is asking accountability, because the report that came out just a moment ago, I think it was about last week as well, yeah, that report came from the Auditor General of Nigeria. Auditor General of Nigeria said they were doing the auditing of NNPC, right? NNPC, which Bokwari is the Minister of Petroleum, right? NNPC is headed by Kyari, another criminal, another rogue, representing the interest of those who are the owners of Nigeria. NNPC pumping Nigerian crude oil under these rogues, right? They pumped over 107 million barrels of crude oil that they couldn't account for. They put all of that into the cost and what's the value of that stolen crude oil stolen by NNPC? This is different from the bunkering, the one stolen from the source. So this is the one they pumped. They accounted to have they accounted for that they had possession of and they sold. But in the point of transit, sell the crude oil, get the money back, 107 million barrel lost. When they calculated that was about $9 billion. $9 billion. Meanwhile, these rogues are planning to go and borrow. How much are they planning to borrow right now? They are planning to borrow over $20 billion. Yet, in 2019, NNPC, Nigeria Petroleum Corporation, right? They couldn't account for 9 billion. So they need people to cover them up. They don't want to go to jail. So this is the power play. And to get somebody, in order to fix it, you have to fix the process that is going to produce those who are going to maintain that. Now, if you don't see that, now they don't want to lose power. 2, they don't want to lose it just anyhow without a plan. And in all of this plan, right, none of them has anything to do with you as Southerners. No. Except if you want to be part of that plan, the plan of this northern elite, these criminals who feels like Bokuwari's time is a waste. So maybe when he's gone, another northerner can take charge so that they can then maybe have a proper fear, proper touch, or proper complete destruction of Nigeria. And you see all this destruction, economic destruction, or what do you call it? Physical destruction, this terrorism act and the rest of them, they benefit from it. They do. They are elites. So that power, if you are from the south, it costs you the blood of your people. It may cost you your blood, but if you survive it, you may get a reward if you are in on it. And if you check the political power play, that is how it is, the playbook, that is how it's been schemed, even in PDP. The North would have to use their proper time. Bokuwari's time is just a time to let an Islamic jihadist, a fanatic, to just enjoy the pleasure of being president, even if hundreds of thousands of you will have to die. Do you understand that now? So this is not them. Now, their scheme is so straightforward. Bokuwari can help them make that easy in a two-way thing. If to say, for those who have been swindled into the APC Egbe change in 2015 as Yoruba people, if they believe the lie that the reason why Tifnumbu took them or took Yoruba name into that occultic arrangement called the APC was for the Yorubas to have access to power through Tifnumbu. Now, if those who bought the lies in 2015, if they have not realized that it is now a mirage, they've been scammed, and Tifnumbu is like a dying horse who is just giving his last kick. Now, APC, Egbekegbe, has now been handed over to the people Tifnumbu claimed to be rescuing Yorubas from if they were allowed to be in power. Now, make it easy on yourself. So, Southern Solidarity back then, that we were saying, okay, if they should do something like Southern Solidarity, for example, the declaration of illegality of open grazing, the Amotekun movement, every other thing that could have given South the stronger kind of voice in the project Nigeria, and not be or play the second fiddle, which they are ending. I mean, they're going to be have to play with the way the whole thing is being schemed there toward, against them now. So if they had listened, if the likes of Tifnumbu had probably taken a cognizant look of that, why the South are going to be defensive when the North comes offensive. That offensive started with APC, Egbekegbe, and that has already put a K-leg, obviously, into your 2023 swagger. But look at the other part too, the PDP. In their own way, they have already played into the hands of Bokuwari, whose only interest is to ensure that whoever is going to take over from them is going to be that person who is going to ensure the continued Fulani hegemony, the supremacy, and then the Fulani occupation, which is the genesis of most of this crack that you are witnessing today. Let's break it up. Let everybody manage their affair. Do your thing. Let's do our thing. We want to defend ourselves. We want to protect our women and our children. We will never succumb and then leave our lands there for these invaders and all of that, right? They are all because of the policy and the polity of Bokuwari. These are the ideas that they will need protected. And if you pay attention very well, the political permutation as we speak, as APC prepared to cover their bomb, the PDP are also playing their game because they need power too. Theirs is not intention. Well, maybe theirs is not to come and protect the Fulani hegemony, right?
But they would have to eventually protect the interest, because the Fulani hegemony that we are talking about, it has now become somehow the project of the elite of the North. And that is why when Boko Haram started the ethnic supremacy, the Fulani ethnic supremacy, or the North supremacy over the rest of Nigeria, or the rest of the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, the rest of all these northern elites, what did they do? They kept mute. Many of them backed him publicly. And when they realized that Nigeria has cracked, broken, and is about to become history, they decided to say, well, he's not doing it for us. So Atiku is in the picture, and it is for a reason. Tifnumbu's chance in APC, Egbekegbe, is done for. And I'll tell you that as well in a moment. But what did that do? That also positioned in northern Nigeria, the Fulani oligarch, and every of their political rogue and criminals who have indulged the Boko Haram and APC Egbekegbe up to this moment. It has now positioned them, right, to use the same thing they use all the time. We are more than you. We don't care about the political party. And that is where they played you in the South. And if you now pay attention to the characters in the South, who some of you probably will feel like, okay, if they say the South should produce the president among these rogues, who do you think would that be? Where you already have names. The one that committed 35 kilometer, and the one that constructed 3.5 kilometer bridge, and the rest of them, they are potential presidential candidate from the South. Umayi, in order to satisfy Boko Haram, Umayi decided to kill the people of Ebonyi State, the Biafrans in Ebonyi. He decided to publicly and repeatedly, right, kill them, persecute them, hunt them, in order to make Boko Haram feel like he is probably a trustworthy ally from the East. Number one, they said he's performed so well in Ebonyi. I mean, I don't even know this performance they talk about anyway. But they said he's performed so well in Ebonyi. If he's performed so well in Ebonyi, and it can also show us that Biafrans are not going to break away if a Biafran become president, Umayi sacrificed his own people. And today, he is in this soup that is purportedly cooked by Were Wike. Now, Wike too has declared. Do you know that the same Wike conveniently, just to prove the one Nigeria, right? Just to prove to this, probably to the North, that if they have the chance of producing the next president of Nigeria, definitely they are ready to sacrifice as many people and kill as many people as possible who probably will continue to be against the existence of the contraption. So Were Wike killed, I don't know how many numbers, but you can tell the number is in their hundreds. He killed hundreds of Biafrans in Obigbo, and he bragged about it. Now, for one Nigeria too, not just that. You have other characters. So Tifnumbu is there. You have Oshibade, fake Pastor Ruga, and the rest of them. But when you pay attention very well, very, very well, in PDP, they know, apart from the money that Wike we said he has, right? They know it stands no chance, because this as the PDP as it is just the replica of the APC, as APC is the replica of what Nigeria is: disjointed, unfair, imbalanced arrangements, right? So when the shove come to push, push come to shove, wherever it is, Were Wike will eventually position himself for the vice presidential slot. Yes. So, which means he will be preparing to deputize another northerner. Because the idea then is that, in order to take power from APC, Egbekegbe, definitely the next person that will take, there must be the president must come from the northern Nigeria. Now, this is an arrangement that in a way that should automatically tell you that if your reason
is because your reason for asking for, to be out of this contraption, this Nigeria, and you would rather be in Yoruba Nation or you would rather be in Biafra Republic, is because of the opportunity that Bokwari and APC, Egbekegbe, gave you, the opportunity to expose the lie, the deceit that they called one Nigeria. Now, no matter how much they try to package it again, no matter who they used to package it again, you don't want to find yourself again entrapped in another Fulani, northern Nigeria, led Nigeria. It is just going to be one same result, bloodbath. You will be hunted down. And when you realize that those who were supposed to actually have what they call the Southern solidarity, they are already divided. There is nothing like Southern strength. And when politicians from Southern Nigeria tells you that Nigeria is worth fighting for, or they want to be president for this or that, tell yourself and pinch yourself that you know what? It is just these regular lies that they use to draw you into the lies, into the fraudulent arrangement. And before you know it, you'll be joining them to validate it. You'll be getting your voter's card. When it is too late, then the real picture will be shown to you. That's another 4 years of trauma. In a way, when the Fulani terrorists invaded the southern Nigeria, right? The southern politicians, they were not bold enough. They were not even men enough to come out publicly and call it what it is, which is the Fulani terrorists killing, kidnapping, ransacking our villages, and chasing our men and women out of their farms. Our villages have been becoming isolated enough that people are becoming refugees in different parts of neighboring countries. In Yoruba land, for example, yeah, people are burying their dead. No single politician in Yoruba land, PDP, APC, right? Christian, Muslim, young, old, whatever. None of them was bold enough to come out boldly and call it exactly what it was. They were trying to be politically correct until people started paying the supreme price. People were being killed until people were being kidnapped on the highway, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Lagos-Shagamu Benin Expressway, and so many other motorways in Yoruba land. They became, kidnappers' den. And with the same story from all the victims who survived, Fulani terrorists kidnapped them. They kept them in the forest for days, for weeks, until ransoms were paid. No politicians in Yoruba land thought, indeed, this is not the Nigeria they signed up for. They were lying to us. They were using their political correctness to make this look like we are all going crazy. And they started saying that we should watch what we say. We should be careful of what we say. They wanted to gag us. They criminalized our statements, and they were willing to sacrifice us just to prove that Nigeria can remain one, even if we are dying. Now, this is the scenario until now. Now, look at them, PDP, APC. You are going to be drawn into their own lies again, the lies of one Nigeria. And there's no difference in them anymore, by the way. Though you have been saying that, we have been saying that again and again, there's no difference between PDP and APC. But is that something that you genuinely believe, or you are going to be believing right now? It doesn't matter whether they are Yorubas or Yorubas, Igbo, Hausa, Fulani, or wherever they come from. You tell me, those who kept mute when those Fulani terrorists were kidnapping us, when they were chasing our men and women out of their farms, when they were raping our grandmothers on their ways to farm and markets, the Yoruba politicians, they kept mute. And then at some point, they decided that they were not going to be mute again. They started what they called Amotekun. That was meant to be a breath of fresh air, a relief or a reprieve for us to say, well, maybe the political class are now responding. They said we shouldn't take laws into our hands. That is, if you decided that you wanted to protect yourself, you want to defend yourself or defend your families, defend your properties. You don't want to die in the hands of these lawless aliens that are protected by just because one of them is in charge of the government of Nigeria. You get what I mean now? You don't want to die, but they said, no, you can't do that. It is a crime to even defend yourself. It was that bad. Then they said they started Amotekun, a supposed state police that should provide security for our locals. I mean, it's obvious that the Fulani terrorists in Nigeria, they have already overwhelmed the Nigerian security officials, the police, the military. Apart from the fact that they have already been compromised by their leadership from top to bottom, so to say. But again, the numbers of the weapons in the hands of these terrorists cannot be compared to the weapons in the hands of the Nigerian security men. Even when they have the weapons, they have already been compromised never to act. So when they started Amotekun, it was meant to be a breath of a fresh air, something like a relief that, okay, now maybe this can chase them away. The political class in Yoruba land, they were never united on this. I mean, protect us. Yes, it's our right to demand for Yoruba nation. It is our right to demand for a safe place, which is our land, to stay. It is our right as well, right, to stay alive. Yes, we have right to life, and we have right to choose who we want to be. I mean, Nigeria shouldn't take all of that away from us. Even if Nigeria want to take that away from us, the political class in Yoruba land who speak Yoruba, who dress Yoruba, who actually, live Yoruba, who eat Yoruba, who speak like Yorubas, who actually speak Yoruba, so to say, yeah, they failed to speak up for us. Now, when they decided to start the Amotekun, it was pretty, then, there was some show off. There was really some big show about it. Those who were against it, Malamu, Fulani man, Bokwari, Fulani man, and the rest of all those Fulani, Kanuri, and all those ones who are with them because of their benefit from the Nigeria system, they were against it publicly. Tifnumbu was mute. He was quiet. Yes, he was. He couldn't even put his weight behind the security of Yoruba land. He couldn't even live like a man. He was not man enough. A spineless coward that he is. He kept mute. Now we know why. Because he wanted to be president. I mean, save the Yoruba people that you claim to come from. I mean, save them. Support the ideas that keep them safe. Don't be politically correct about it. But they chose power instead of the protection of the Yoruba land, right? Yes, they did. They kept mute. And then what happened? Amotekun started, and only to become a paper tiger. Right before our eyes, Amotekun started checking phones like SARS, while the terrorists, Fulani terrorists, continue to expand. They continue to take every part of Yoruba land. And this is not even like being tribalist, being racist or what have you. We are talking about events that are taking place. People are dying. People are paying ransoms. Families are being destroyed. The trauma of being kidnapped and then your life hanging in the balance, and you have no idea, you have no hope or expectation of being rescued or even being treated when you eventually regain your freedom. All of this became the trauma that people live with today in Yoruba land, but they chose to be politically correct about it. And Amotekun ended up as what? Paper tiger, checking phones. Are you a Yahoo boy? Are you a cultist? Are you this or that? Did you have a fight with your wife? Have you? I mean, your vehicle documents, are they complete? Amotekun then became the people that are now going. They said Amotekun is engaging people, fighting and shooting in a community. They are fighting the cultists, while the Fulani terrorists, they are living like kings in our forest. 1,748 camps were discovered to be illegal camps of a Fulani terrorist in Yoruba land. As far back as 2016, God knows how many camps they have now. God knows how many territories they control now, when we don't even have a clue or report of all these incidences as they happen. Many Yorubas are already probably paying taxes to Fulani terrorists in their different domains. Do we even have the resources to check on them? Do the political class even care about that? Of course they don't. So Amotekun died.